At number 5, we have the Jensen CV8, one of the most unusual and ambitious British grand touring cars of the 1960s. In an era when Britain's roads were filled with elegant saloons, classic minis, and stylish sports cars, the Jensen CV8 stood out from everything else. Introduced in 1963, it featured a lightweight fiberglass body, bold styling, and a powerful American V8 engine that gave it performance few British cars could match. Picture Britain in the early 1960s. London's streets were alive with iconic red buses, black taxis, and traditional shop fronts. Motorways were expanding, the country's car industry was thriving, and British engineering was admired around the world. It was during this exciting period that Jensen Motors created a car unlike anything else on the road. The CV8 wasn't built for everyone. It was designed for drivers who wanted luxury, speed, and exclusivity all in one package. Inside, the cabin was finished with handcrafted leather and polished wood, while under the bonnet the powerful Chrysler V8 delivered effortless acceleration and high-speed cruising. It was a true grand tourer, capable of crossing Britain in comfort while leaving many sports cars behind. Despite its impressive engineering, the Jensen CV8 remained a rare sight. Its distinctive front-end styling divided opinions, and its high price meant only a limited number were ever sold. As famous rivals from Jaguar and Aston Martin captured the spotlight, the CV8 quietly slipped into the background. Today, the Jensen CV8 is remembered as one of Britain's most fascinating forgotten classics. Collectors admire it not only for its rarity, but also for its unique combination of British craftsmanship and American V8 power. More than 60 years later, it stands as a reminder of a time when Britain's car industry wasn't afraid to build something bold, different, and truly unforgettable. At number 4, we have the TVR Vixen S2, one of the most exciting yet overlooked British sports cars of the late 1960s. Introduced in 1968, the Vixen S2 represented everything enthusiasts loved about classic British motoring: lightweight engineering, sharp handling, and a thrilling driving experience. At a time when Britain's automotive industry was producing some of the world's most iconic vehicles, TVR chose a different path, focusing on performance rather than luxury. The late 1960s was a golden era for British cars. London's streets were filled with stylish saloons, colourful shop fronts, and the unmistakable sound of classic engines echoing through the city. Motorsport was growing rapidly, and British manufacturers were building cars that competed on roads and racetracks across the world. It was during this exciting period that the TVR Vixen S2 made its debut. Unlike many larger manufacturers, TVR built cars in small numbers, giving each model a unique character. The Vixen S2 featured a lightweight fiberglass body mounted on a strong tubular chassis, allowing it to deliver impressive agility and responsive handling. Powered by a reliable Ford engine, it offered quick acceleration and an engaging driving experience that made every journey feel special. Despite its impressive performance, the TVR Vixen S2 never became a household name. Limited production, strong competition, and the company's small size meant it remained a hidden treasure among true motoring enthusiasts. While bigger brands dominated headlines, the Vixen quietly earned a reputation as one of Britain's finest drivers' cars. Today, surviving examples are highly sought after by collectors who appreciate their rarity, timeless styling, and pure driving experience. More than half a century later, the TVR Vixen S2 remains a symbol of British engineering passion and creativity, a forgotten classic that truly deserved far more recognition. At number 3, we have the Marcos GT, one of Britain's most underrated sports cars of the 1960s. Introduced in 1964, it arrived during a golden era when British manufacturers were creating some of the world's finest automobiles. While famous brands like Jaguar and Lotus dominated the spotlight, Marcos quietly built a car that was just as exciting. With its low-slung body, lightweight construction, and sleek design, the Marcos GT looked far ahead of its time. Picture the streets of 1960s Britain, filled with classic red buses, black taxis, and vintage shop fronts, as this unique sports car turned heads wherever it went. Powered by reliable Ford mechanicals, it offered impressive performance, sharp handling, and an engaging driving experience. Despite its outstanding engineering, limited production meant it never reached the popularity it truly deserved. Today, the Marcos GT is a highly respected collector's classic, admired for its rarity, beautiful styling, and its important place in Britain's rich automotive history. At number 2, we have the Equipe 2 Litre, one of Britain's most overlooked grand touring cars of the 1960s. Introduced in 1967, it arrived at a time when the British motor industry was producing some of its finest and most memorable vehicles. Across the country, London's streets were filled with classic red buses, black taxis, vintage storefronts, and elegant British automobiles, creating an era that many enthusiasts still remember with great admiration. Unlike many sports cars of its time, the Equipe 2 Litre offered a perfect balance of performance, comfort, and practicality. Built using reliable Triumph mechanical components, it featured a smooth 6-cylinder engine that delivered confident performance for both everyday driving and long-distance touring. Its sleek fastback styling gave it a modern appearance, helping it stand out among many of its rivals. Despite its impressive design and enjoyable driving experience, the Equipe never achieved the commercial success it truly deserved. The company produced only a limited number of examples, and stronger competition from larger British manufacturers kept it out of the spotlight. As the years passed, it quietly disappeared from British roads and slowly became one of the forgotten classics of the 1960s. Today, the Equipe 2 Litre is a rare collector's car admired for its distinctive styling, dependable engineering, and unique place in British automotive history. More than half a century later, it remains a reminder of an era when even small British manufacturers had the ambition to build stylish, exciting, and unforgettable cars. It truly deserves to be remembered as one of Britain's finest forgotten grand tourers. Finally, at number 1, we have the Vogue, one of Britain's most elegant yet forgotten family cars of the early 1960s. Introduced in 1961 by the Roots Group, the Vogue was designed to offer a touch of luxury without losing the practicality that British families needed. During the early 1960s, Britain was changing rapidly. The streets were filled with classic red buses, black taxis, vintage shop fronts, and beautifully designed cars that reflected the optimism of a new era. It was in this exciting period that the Vogue quietly made its mark. With its refined styling, comfortable interior, and smooth driving experience, the Vogue stood out from many ordinary family cars. Chrome details, a distinctive front grille, and a well-finished cabin gave it a premium feel, while its dependable engineering made it a reliable companion for everyday driving. Although it offered comfort and quality, the Vogue struggled to compete with more famous British brands and never received the recognition it truly deserved. As the years passed, the Singer name gradually disappeared from Britain's roads, and the Vogue became a forgotten part of the country's rich automotive history. Today, surviving examples are rare and admired by collectors who appreciate their classic styling, historical importance, and timeless British character. The Vogue remains a perfect reminder that some of the finest cars of the 1960s were never the most famous, but they certainly deserve to be remembered. Those were our picks for 5 forgotten British cars from the 1960s that truly deserve to be remembered. Which one was your favourite? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through Britain's classic motoring history, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more forgotten British classics every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next countdown.